back, Powerful Mind. Missed you so much. Today we're doing our first Powerful Mind podcast. That's exciting.
It's happening.
Yay! We're gonna make the golf claps a thing. Just so you know. Anyways, so today we are joined with a lot of very incredibly talented individuals who all have our own special skill sets that we kind of put on the table. So we're gonna go around, introduce them, just say like kind of what you do and your name and your handle. Go.
Hi. Do I look here? Or do
Yeah,
I
you can look at the camera for that.
Hi. I'm Nasir Creates. I am a photographer, videographer, creative director. I do music videos, cover arts, everything that you could kind of think of. I probably do. So,
Nice.
So my name is Dre. They usually call me John. I like being called John, so it'll be respectful for you to call me John.
Nobody knew that.
No, oh, damn, I can't get an intro.
Okay, so sorry. Alright, sorry.
Can I finish my intro?
Yeah, go for it. So sorry.
So my name is Dre, aka John. I'm a video producer. That's pretty much what I do. I do other things, but I like to focus on doing video production and helping people create content. And my handle is Dre the Baller. That was in high school. Not a baller. Not a baller.
You a baller though. What's poppin' though? My name's Supreme, and I'm a producer and composer, if you want to say. And you can follow me as Supreme Ortiz.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? My name is Marcnerr. I'm here. I'm born and raised Port Charlotte. Well, not born and raised, but most of my life in Port Charlotte. Recording artist. Been chasing my dream, for some time now. My record label is at G Class TV. If you can't remember how Marcnerr is pronounced, it's Marcne, 2 R's. You can follow me on IG. Chasing my passion, enjoying making music and creating for people to love.
Hi, my name is Amaya. I am the creator of Powerful Mind, and my main goal right now is to start pushing out some content and getting some really talented and creative people together to make something big. So here we are, doing it.
You got it, man.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
No, of course, appreciate everybody coming through. So let's talk about how we kind of started with our whole creative journeys, and how we all know each other, right? Let's start there. Let's establish how we all know each other, how this came to be. Well, to start, Jostin, Supreme, is my brother-in-law. The best brother-in-law I could probably ask for. And Jostin, how do you go from there?
Alright, so that's my sis, you know what I mean? My boy Dre, Marcnerr, and I just met.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
met
you know what I mean? We've seen each other, but you know what I mean? I met Dre, high school or after high school?
Around high school, yeah.
Something like that, you know what I mean? It's been my boy since, we've creatively not only connected, but just just vibe and mess around, you know what I mean? But then, Marcnerr too, I met him through my lady, and then we pretty much just connected, obviously, just to that, and music, and being creatives as well.
I feel like we all kind of gravitated towards each other because of that like-mindedness that we do want to create, we do want to produce something,
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, we wanted to produce something and create something together.
Yeah.
So this was definitely really good that this is all happening. And like we said, we all kind of have really different backgrounds too. Marcnerr, if you want to elaborate on your background on everything or what you're doing.
In music or just like in life?
Music.
Music? Okay. So, I mean, I always was, like, in love with music. I remember growing up, my parents, we traveled a lot, especially for, like, religious activities. On the way there, I've always listened to music. And just how I felt when I listened to music, it was always something that I, loved being around. 2017 was when I actually made my first song. I wrote it for my wife and then played it for her on our wedding day. And
That's dope.
That's dope. I didn't know that.
yeah, that was the very first time I ever went to a studio, professional studio, went to there and had people, writing and everything. And so that was my very first time playing it for people to hear. Maybe 2 years after that, a buddy of mine who's now also the CEO of my label and manager, we know each other growing up already, so he came to me, we reconnected on Facebook. He was like, hey, yo, girl, what's up? I'm in the area, let's link up. And he's like, what do you do? I'm like, right now I work as a paramedic, I'm doing that with emergency, but, I like doing music also. So he was like, okay, let me hear what well, let me hear what you have. And then I sent him that, and he was like, bro, this is like really, really good. And I'm just like, yeah, you know. But
You
at
always
the time,
think you suck.
right?
You
Yeah.
always think
So
you
he
suck.
was
Yeah.
like, no, like this is really good. Do you ever see yourself making a career out of this? How do you feel, you know, when you make music? And I was like, I love it. You know, I love making music. I love being in the studio, writing, creating. You know, just it's like art to me. You know, that's my canvas. I feel like I can just paint, go crazy.
Nice.
And he
Yeah.
was like, I can show you the business. I can put you on in terms of opportunity, but you have to want it. You have to really want to do this. And so since 2017, being on with that record label, that's how it got started. And you know, the rest have just been pushing hard.
Nice.
That
Yeah.
was awesome.
Dope.
Yeah. No.
It's like I'm learning more about him on camera than off camera. Can you tell me you made that song for his wife, the
I
first
know.
song? Like, come on, man.
That's cool.
Can you stop leaving out stuff?
Yeah, keep it interesting so you can still like me, bro.
You gotta keep a little mystery. You gotta keep a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
mystery.
yeah, yeah.
Can't tell me
Yeah.
everything.
Can't let them know your next
Yeah.
move.
Right.
So on the flip side on that, because you produce and you make a lot of music, and you just released an EP and everything, and you're gonna release more like
That's right.
later this week.
Next week, next Friday, 13th.
Oh,
Nice.
Friday the 13th?
That's my birthday.
Oh,
Word?
okay, word.
What's that? What's the date? What's that?
Yeah. Friday the 13th.
Oh,
January
that's
13th.
crazy. January 13th, I meant like.
Damn, you know,
Hello?
I didn't even notice that I was dropping it on
Hello?
Friday 13th.
Yeah.
That's lit.
I meant like. I'm an
I
idiot.
love
It's
it.
okay.
I'm an idiot, man.
Yeah.
Nas was like, yo, this guy is.
Yeah, like this kind of the new year, like.
I think I'm still in 2022.
Yeah, no, I get it. So on the flip side, with your producing and engineering and what have you, what's your process with that? Like, what does it look like? Because you do everything out of your home, correct?
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, pretty much, literally, just create every day.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, the best way I can. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our own shit, our own life, that we busy, tired, this and that. You know what I mean? So, but just, you know, making that time for your peoples and for your creative side, because as a creator, you just want to get it out there. You know what I mean? Or you want to, you know, or you're thinking all day. You're at your job, but you're thinking all day of like, damn, I could. Or, you know, I can't wait till I go home or something like that to lay this down or whatever the case may be. But, you know, but yeah, man, I love it. You know what I mean? Like, I just dropped my first EP. I'm dropping my next one, and I'm going to just keep on dropping and network, trying to see what's good, you know what I mean? And really do my thing with this. So.
And I know that you do a lot of it at night, right?
Pretty late at night.
Like, pretty late at night, because your wife tells me that you do this all the time, every night.
and it's you know it's hard because you gotta find balance. You feel me? Like, obviously, kid, wife, dog, cat, this, that. You know what I mean?
They kids too.
No, literally.
For real. You know what I mean? So, and then finally, you know, you get to create, and it's like, you know, word.
Yeah.
You say you go into your world, you know what I mean, of like, all right, you know, let me do what I do.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you actually brought that up, because that's also another reason why I wanted to put all of us together, because we all have such different day-to-day lives. It's insane, right?
Yeah.
So Jostin has a wife, a cat, a dog, a child, and a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, he still finds time to create, like he said, like every night, right? Dre, you got a whole family too, and you got your own business, and you're doing your own content.
I don't have my own family, but
Well,
I
you
have
have
a
a
whole
family.
family.
I said you're a whole family.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, Dre doesn't have any kids, let's clarify.
Yeah. Man, what does that mean?
Sorry, anyways.
Oh, no.
But what do you got going on in your life that you try to figure out that balance?
This place, Bashment Event Center. Right now, it's new for us. Like, we're just trying to like learn how to have a brick and mortar. Like, it's different from just having like, okay, I got this thing, you know, like doing videos or whatever it is. But now you got a whole building that you got to like try to get filled up with a lot of people. So right now, I've been doing all the marketing and stuff, and then my sister does. You know, she's a lawyer, so she does all the a lot of the legal stuff, and then my brother does the finances, my mother does the finances, decor, my dad does the maintenance here.
Oh,
So
really?
we, as a unit, we all like work together. I'm happy that I'm doing business with my family, like Nas is doing business with his family, because like you can't do it by yourself. So I love that I have my whole family, but it's been a journey, and I love it, man. I just love like seeing people like have events here and then smiling and just like, yo, girl came up to me for a Sweet 16 and she was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever in my life. And I was like,
That feels good.
I was
Yeah.
like, this,
Yeah.
like, just this part of me put together, like,
Yeah, I know.
because it's a Sweet 16, that's why. So I was like, wow. I didn't know it was so big, but,
Yeah.
like, in terms of, like, that big for her, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I'm
that's
not.
a big moment.
Yeah, it's a big moment for her. So I just want to help people, man.
Yeah.
That's basically it, man. So.
Good.
But
Yeah.
that pretty much is really Bashman. I do some video production for, other people and
Yeah,
stuff. And for
definitely.
myself, yeah.
Definitely. And then Nasir, what do you
That's
got?
dope.
What do you got going on in your like day-to-day life that you have to try to find a balance in?
I stay up until like 3 or 4 a.m. working
Wow.
most days. We have a lot of brands under Only the Hustle, so it's a lot to balance, especially since I'm also shooting a lot of the stuff. Which this year I'll be passing that off to other video creators.
Nice.
So looking forward to that. For the most part, that family got a dog. There's a lot of us. There's like 7 or 8 of us right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're deep. We come through deep.
Keeping up with the Gladys, yo. Jeez Louise.
But I don't know. It's mostly just remembering that it's supposed to be fun and light at the end of the day.
Facts.
And if I'm not enjoying it, it's like, let me just take a second and just go outside, go touch some grass.
Right? Rebase myself.
For the most part, I feel like, honestly, I live off of coffee now.
Yeah.
And going off of what he said, it's crazy to think about how, like, every day in our lives as creatives is basically like the best day of somebody else's life. Like if I kill it on a shoot and I bring it back to a client, I hope to do that for every client, but that client, that might be their first music video, and that could be the greatest thing that just kicks off this big snowball of success for them. So it's really cool thinking about life like that, because it's like you get to see your impact live in person,
That's dope.
1,000%. Yeah. No, and I think as creators, that's like the main reason why we do what we do is to have that, like, put it out there and get the feedback and the great reactions and all of that. So, what do you got going on in your life that you have to try to balance and everything?
I'd say secular work, like, before I made the switch to only doing music full time, I started, I was at my career job. I was a paramedic, and not only that, I commuted, so I worked in Fort Myers, and that's a 24, 48-hour schedule, and being in a busy 911 system like that, you lose sleep, sometimes you can't eat, sometimes you can't sleep or rest, and so mentally you're already tired, and physically from not sleeping. So it was hard to find that balance where, okay, this time I need to put away time to do music. And I had a tremendous amount of difficulty trying to figure out, okay, this day I'm doing music, I focus on work this time, I'm writing, I'm doing this. So that was my biggest challenge. And, being married, putting time for your wife also, because you can't just focus on one thing, because then, someone might, she'll fall back, and that's, you don't want to get to where you're going, and the person who's the most important to you not be there for you. So it was just finding that balance. And then the hurricane came, fast forward a couple of years, and it leveled everything. It's almost like the whole playing field was just like, okay, everyone has to start over now. And so that kind of put into perspective for me, like, you have to do what you care about most. If you waste your time doing something you don't, look at, back to the hurricane. The hurricane destroyed so many homes. Some people that I spoke to at work, they're like, well, I was just, finishing modeling this house. I just finished it, and then I came back, and there's like 6 feet of water down,
I know.
And so having to start over, that kind of put in my head, like, I have to go after what I want. I can't give myself any excuses. I have to do what you want, be passionate about it. And that's when I was happy with the decision of being full-time musician. I can always make work, secular work. If I gotta work at 7-Eleven, I know I could do it. And it was a pride thing before. Like, man, I'm going to work at a gas station, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to see me and be like, yo, that's girl at the gas station. So now I realized I got to a point where, okay, I can find work. I can pay my bills, because when this happened, I couldn't do it, but I was still making this work. So now the balance is there, and it's the consistency. For me, that's what's most important. If I can make music and write, every day, then I'm good.
I'm going to add on to that, too. I feel like we could all relate to sacrifice.
Sacrifice, definitely.
For sure.
For sure.
That plays in with everything else,
And I think that's interesting, because people who aren't like on that level of like creating don't really understand that.
Right.
They're like, sacrifice. Why would you sacrifice anything for to do what? Make
Yeah.
music? You
You're
know what I'm
not
saying?
going
Like,
out with us?
yeah, exactly.
Why would you
Like,
not go out so you can push pixels on the computer? Like,
yeah,
no.
like they're like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that like your loved ones especially like having that conversation with them and being like, listen, like this is important and like we're gonna figure out a balance. But balance is the most important thing. For me personally, like I work a full-time job that is 50 to 60 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? And thankfully, I am my only responsibility. So it's not like I have like, you know, a husband or my own family that I have to watch after. It's just me. But 50 to 60 hours a week, it's a lot of responsibility. And then on top of that, I come home from a 10, 12-hour shift. I'm tired, you know? I don't want to do nothing but lay in bed and do nothing, you know?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, let me just stay up for another 2 hours working on my own small business because like that is super 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 important to me that even though I am having this job that I really care about and I love and I'm gonna put my all in, I also need to have that same energy with my own business and my own company because that's just as important. The only thing for me is that I definitely burn out very easily. I've realized that with like everything that I do. So I've kind of come up with like a way to avoid the whole burnout situation. Chance the Rapper, in one of his songs, he said, you got to schedule vacations in your 5-year plan, right? And I was like, yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm like on such a hustle and like grind of like working all the time, like I never have an off day, I literally need to schedule in, okay, I'm going to rest this morning. I'm going to go to bed really early this night. Or, you know what, this day I'm going to do nothing in the first half. I'm going to like sleep in, have a good breakfast, whatever, and then I'm going to pick up a project on the later half of the day. Or vice versa. Like I literally have to schedule in when I'm going to be able to breathe and like take a quick break. Which is something that I didn't know when I was like a little bit younger, and I would burn out like a lot and take it out on like people who were around me, especially when I lived at home and like in high school, for example. I would end up like taking it out on my mom because she'd be like, all right, you came home from school now, you gotta do the dishes. And I'd be like, what do you mean I'm so tired and I just did so much, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, bruh. So like fast forward to now, I know, literally. Fast forward to now, I just have to make sure that I definitely schedule in like all that time to rest. It's super important because
that's a reset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause you're seeing things like when you do it for so long, you're seeing the same thing, and once you reset, you're like, oh, now I'm refreshed and recharged, and now like, okay, I can get back to it. It feels new again. That's why we do it.
Like,
Mental
I mean,
health
like
is
he
super
said-
important in creativity.
Yes.
Right, yeah, no,
Reset.
like you said earlier, you know what I mean? Like, even with the touching the grass, but even earlier when y'all were talking and shit, but, of like, you know, like, you gotta take a break sometimes, and even if it happens, like, you know what I mean? Like, it may suck or something, as in, like, you know, because you just want to do
Get it
something.
out, yeah.
Or, I mean, at least for me, and sometimes, like, if I don't do something for what I'm trying to go to, I feel like shit about myself, and that's not cool either.
Yeah.
But that's something that I've learned to be like, yo, like you can't feel like shit. Like just take it as it is. And then tomorrow,
like chill out.
or later
Yeah.
tomorrow, like pick back up. You know?
Like
It happens. We're fucking
reassess.
humans. You know,
Yeah.
we ain't
Yeah.
robots.
Because sometimes you try to force it, and then sometimes
and
it
even
doesn't
that
work.
makes it worse.
It makes it worse. That's
It
what I'm
makes
saying. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
that's true.
definitely. One last question before we end up rolling out. How do you feel like it's paid off? All of the sacrifice and time management and balance and everything. Like anyone, how do you feel like it paid off?
I'm not gonna lie. I got to a point where I was like, I've done this for all these years. I've done all this work, and I didn't feel like I had made any progress. And that was what made me put the camera down. I was really burnt out. I hated everything I was making, and I felt like I was just doing stuff for likes, and it wasn't really amounting to anything. So it really wasn't until I took that break that it allowed me to put some things into perspective. And creating is really what I feel like I was put here for. So,
Nice.
But for a while, you couldn't pay me to pick up my camera. Like,
Oh, really?
I refused to. It would be every family event, they want to put a camera in my hands. Every time I go out with my friends, it became too much. And it didn't feel like I was creating for like pure reasons. So I had to get back to the basics.
Nice.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. For me, it didn't pay off. That's why I'm waiting for it to pay off. You understand what I mean? I keep going because I know for a fact that I'm gonna hit somewhere where I'm like, okay, I got it. You know what I mean? Like Mark just said, yo, I'm gonna just keep going. I gotta keep doing what I gotta do. So for the most part, I'm gonna keep doing it. like how I think is crazy. I want to, like, every time I do a project or do anything, I want it to be perfect, but nothing's perfect. So guess what? If you keep chasing that perfect, you're never gonna stop.
Yeah.
So that's how I not stop. Like so that's why I always like be like, yo, I gotta get this perfect thing. Oh, Dre, you're not gonna get it perfect. That's why I'm gonna keep going, because it's never gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep going until it pays off. Because some people, I'm not, for the most part, I'm not trying to do it like per se for like the main reason for per se money.
Yeah.
It's because I like to do it, but also I know it will pay off in the end if I just keep. Because if you didn't like it, then you'll stop.
Exactly.
Because I'm not making no money.
Yeah.
But then when I start making money, then you're like, oh, no. I start with not making money, and then when I get to that point, I'm going to love it when I make money, I'm going to love it when I don't make money. So
Yeah.
The money is just a
Beautiful.
plus.
it's, just,
Yeah,
it's the
exactly,
plus.
exactly.
And then also I like the impact that it has on people. So when I put my videos out, they're like, yo, Dre, I see your work, so I see the impact, so I have some kind of talent. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's basically, so it didn't
It's
pay
that
off yet.
reassurance.
It's
Yeah,
reassurance.
Isn't that crazy how as creators, like, we just need reassurance?
Yeah,
like, that's what
right.
it really is.
Yeah,
This really is. You're putting your heart and your soul into something,
Yeah.
and then you put it out there and you're just like, oh boy. You know? And you just like wait for that, like, okay, it was awesome. Because like low key, you know, like what you put out is awesome.
Yeah.
Like obviously you wouldn't put it out if you hated it, absolutely thought it was the worst. But having other people like chime in and be like, wow, that was absolutely crazy, like you did it so good, like that's what I feel like one of the best feelings.
It's always that fear when you're putting it out.
Yeah.
Of, like, what if nobody likes it?
Yeah.
That's the problem. The thing about it is that I'll put out like the work that I don't like the most. I'll put it out and people like it the most. That's crazy. I'll be like, yo, this is all right, and then poof, goes crazy. And the one I say, yo, this is it. Poof. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, as a creative too, you got to be able to take all the
Feedback.
Criticism.
all the time and
Filter
I
through the
love
noise.
the criticism.
Yeah.
I want people to comment about it.
Yeah.
I love it.
1,000%.
You got to be able to handle that. So.
How do you feel like some stuff may have your success story? Where are you at?
Right. I mean, I feel from what they were saying, like, you know, I mean, I feel like, yeah, like, you know, I have in some ways, but I'm still pushing. Obviously, you know, I won't stop until, like, my goal is, since I love to do this, I want to do this every day freely, you know what I mean? And be able to provide for my family without having to go to my 9 to 5 and make somebody else money when I know I'm valuable enough to make what I can make and provide for my family, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's dope though, because like, you know, I started obviously like rapping.
Yeah.
And even how I got into rapping wasn't even like supposed to be it. And even how I got into producing wasn't for real, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's how it
That's
goes.
how it goes, man.
it just flowed with it. And even, you know, producing, that's when, you know, my best friend passed away, and he used to produce a lot, and I felt like he passed, and he literally just started working through me in a way, because that's when I started, and I just kept on going, and I sucked. I feel like I still have a lot to learn, like we all.
Of
I'm
course.
sure, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
never, you know, never stop learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean, and just keep going until like I can wake up and, you know, everybody's good in my family, my friends are good, my circle's good, and yo, I'm gonna go work, but I'm not working, I'm gonna go create, you know.
Yes.
1,000%.
So that's the goal.
What about you, Gerb?
I'd say right now, where I'm at is like I can see it now.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. I can see it now. When I first started, couldn't see nothing. Like I started doing it. Like, you know, you did. I remember. I remember one of my first ones that I was actually on Spotify was Clarity, and I remember, you know, talking to my manager and the whole team, and everyone's, you know, on Zoom calls and everything, and I'm like, yo, I made it, like I did this. This was back in 2017, like 2018, and the first song dropped, and I'm just like hitting refresh, watching the stream. I'm waiting to like go to, and it was good because I felt like I needed to get humbled like that, because I was looking at it.
I know what you mean, though.
Right.
I know what you mean.
I was looking at it, and I think after one day I didn't even see like 5 streams. And I'm like, I know more than 5 people. You know what I mean? And it was bugging with me. And after that's when I realized, like, hey, like you need to really like realign yourself with understanding like what's important to you. If you only wanting streams, eventually you're only gonna get streams, but then you're gonna lose the whole reason why you want to do this in the first place. So I kind of took a step back and was like, I'm gonna just keep doing what I know, which is music. I'm enjoying it, and even back then, you know, thankfully, you know, that was a good lesson for me to see. Hey, it's okay right now. You don't see it, but that belief system, that's what's the most important thing. As long as you know that, hey, I might not know where I'm at right now, but I know that I want to get over there.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to, you know, surround myself around people that's going to help me get there.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the biggest thing for me, because now I know that I'm going to make it there. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't feel prideful. You know, that was another big thing for me. I used to think, oh, it's too prideful. I'm feeling myself saying, I'm going to make it, I'm going to get there. But no one ever wakes up and goes
You
doing
gotta do that
thing.
for your own.
Yeah.
Right, you
You know
know,
what I mean?
you know, it's funny because, like, for example, in my secular work, like, I was paramedic full-time for about, like, 7-8 years. And
A long
I
time.
went from full-time to part-time now just so I can focus only on the music. And the only reason I bring that up is that mindset. I didn't go to work thinking, hey, I hope I can help someone today.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
bro, people gonna get hurt. And it's,
People gonna call. We gonna get it.
Please help me.
I put in my head,
When you come out there, don't hope. Help me.
Help me.
Marcnerr, help me.
Yo, facts up.
So,
Before he starts, he's like, wait, the beat. Somebody get the beat.
that's how they teach you CPR too, like the staying alive, the quote.
Staying up. You know I know that.
Oh,
Office.
damn. We got NPC.
Yo, for real.
So
Alright.
I kind of use that to be like, okay, I can be confident in what I do. You know, I can be confident in my art and look at it as a sense of, I'm going to keep doing this. I know I can get there. I have the pieces around me. You know, shout out to the label, shout out to G-Class TV, shout out to J-Ball, you know, to put me in a position where you can do these things, all these things, you know, it can work. You know, stop putting these, you know, these barriers for yourself saying, oh, I don't know if I can do it. You know, this might not happen. You know, fast forward now, my most recent song was with Gorilla Zoe. You know, I grew up listening to Gorilla, you know, in school that, oh, the hood jockey. You know, I got to go to the studio with them. We sit in the studio making music, and before I left, you know, I was like, yo, Zoe, you know, you heard my music. I explained to him my brand and everything like that, and he's like, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, you know, what do you see that I need to improve on? What do I need to do? Takeaways and all that. Because I'm like, every person or people that I run into, I'm like, hey, what can I do so I can be better? You know, the ego thing.
That's how
You
you
know, I
gotta
don't
do it,
have that ego where I'm like, oh, I got it. I don't need to talk to someone else. And he was like, bro, nothing. He was like, nothing. He's like, I don't want to tell you nothing.
Just keep going.
Keep going. You know what you want to do, and I think that's important. And you know, I used to tell people like, "Oh, I'm a singer." I don't say singer anymore. I say recording artist because that's where I see the music for me now.
Right.
You know, I'm creating something. I'm painting something for people to hear, and I like it enough to where it doesn't feel like it's work. You know, it's purposeful. You know, I always tell people like, I'm on my purpose right now. I'm on this journey. I'm going here. I'm working here. And I'm going to get there. I know I'm going to get there because consistency is going to beat talent. You know, hard work is going to beat talent with talent.
Say that all the time.
You know, as long as consistency, you're going to get there.
It's true. Like, you know, like people always ask, like, I guess a formula. And I'm not even, you know, I'm not as successful as I want to be, but like, the formula is pretty damn simple. You just got to do it.
Keep going.
You just got to keep going.
Keep going, and you can't give up. You know what I mean? A lot of people give up because they don't see results or other, you know, they're trying to, you know what I mean? But it's not even all about
a lot of people focus on the outputs.
Right.
But you got to focus on the inputs.
Right.
What you put in. Sometimes you put in a lot, and then guess what? You don't see nothing. You don't see nothing. What happened with the Titanic? They didn't see the iceberg, but you know, you understand what I mean? There's something big. There's something big down there. You know what I mean? Like you don't see something created down there, and once they come up, you're like, whoa, that's. Dang, it's always been there. You just gotta keep going.
And it may be like nowadays a lot of them. What is it? The overnight. What is it?
Overnight success.
Overnight successes. You know what I mean? Like, but
what
like,
happens to them though?
Right. They're gone.
They're gone
So,
because they never had that consistency.
Right. Yeah. So what I'm trying to add was that like you know you may not see it now. You may not see it in 1 year, 5, 7, 10, but it's gonna, you know, you're gonna get your fruits of your labor, and you're gonna
Yeah.
enjoy them.
I also think that like a big thing for me personally is just like celebrating the small successes and the small wins. I'm a very big like small win person, but you have to have a good mindset about it though, because like you do want to celebrate like your small wins, but you have to, I look at them as like building blocks. I'm like, I got this small win, perfect, now on to the next one, and you stand on it and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, this is a small win for me. Like, this is cool. I love this.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So, but now we're going to take this, right? And we're about to talk ideas in a little bit after this, but we're going to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to be like, oh, this was cool. All right. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to keep going from that. And so, like, for me, that's kind of how I feel like success is really important. And I feel like for Powerful Mind, I haven't necessarily gotten obviously to the point where I really want to be at, and I've talked to like all of you about where exactly I want to be at with Powerful Mind. But Powerful Mind also like wasn't the first like thing that I really looked at. Like, honestly, in quarantine, like when I blew up on TikTok, like you know, I got like 7 million views on like one TikTok. I have like over 60,000 followers on TikTok, right? And you want to know why I stopped making videos? Because I was you. I was sitting there refreshing. Likes, comments, likes, views. So I was like sitting there like, and I realized that it was no longer fun. I was just really looking at the numbers. I wanted the views. I wanted the likes. I wanted the comments. And when I didn't get it, I was just like, it turned me off and I stopped.
Disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. It turned me off and I stopped. But that, I realized, is a mentality that I also have with Powerful Mind the first time I dropped it, right? I didn't get, like, a whole bunch of sales or, like, a whole bunch of traction, and I stopped, you know? So now, like, revisiting all of this, because, like I said, like, in me and Nasir's interview, that it's always in the back of my head. And, like, that, okay, you know what you want to do. Why aren't you doing it? You know, like, why are you letting all these little things, like, stop you from actually going to get it and get it done? So that's why I decided to revamp it all and do it again. And because I do have that background where I know that, like, I can make funny videos that appeal to people and whatnot. And Lil Yachty posted me on his Instagram one time, which is, like, really random. Really, really, Amaya, no, so it was just cool stuff like that. So that's how I know that, like, I can do this, you know, and that's what I always tell myself is like, you can do this. You just gotta keep going.
We all can. My bad to cut you off, but we all can. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
We can all do what we.
It's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Perspective.
For sure.
I definitely, like, again, I keep going back to the paramedic thing, but it's because I didn't have this kind of mindset before. I just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did not have it because for me, it was just being your career, work, you know, enjoy. And don't get me wrong, like, I enjoy being on the ambulance. Like, for me, you know, adrenaline rush, you don't get to save people's lives. I went to school for it. I enjoy doing it. But I also love the music also. But, again, you know, you have to be able to be like, okay, this is something, I can do this also. But I have to change my mindset. You got to understand what comes with it. You know, and I think for a lot of people, that may be where most people suffer, because that's where I suffered. I was tiptoeing because of that fear, you know. And if you like right now, I feel like I've purged myself of like the fear. Like I'm not scared to go after what I want, because the fear's not gonna kill you. It's an innate thing. It's not really there. And so once I figured that out, I was like, okay, like there's no limit, there's no ceiling. You know, we put the ceilings on ourselves, thinking we can't do this, and so that's where I'm at right now. So that's when you came with this podcast, I was like, say less, bro. I can't wait to come on this.
No, I was saying it's amazing that these two are like early 20s. I wasn't thinking like this when I was early 20s. I didn't find my purpose till like late 20s, like to be like, okay, what I'm gonna do, like for real. But you guys already know what y'all doing and have everything set up, so I'm proud of you guys, man.
Ahead of a lot of young people, you know what I mean? Because everybody, you know, which is cool to go out and shit like that, but like to be that young and y'all are trying to build something, you know what I mean? That's what's up.
It's hard. We can have a whole other conversation about how hard it is to do it at this age.
Because you get shot down, you feel like the old. I don't want to say old heads. I don't know. But older people. I don't know, because you know, like that's why young people like that.
I was gonna say that. You said old heads. You get disrespectful.
Because look, she said it's hard for her. Shoot, my knees hurt. It's hard for us too. Just be here, bro.
Good thing we got Gary here.
Oh yeah, I'm on duty, bro. Yo, you can't make this up.
But I think that is a good note to end on. I think thank you so much for being here. We will definitely continue to do this. Thank you so much for watching and following along on Powerful Mind and our progress with this journey and this company and everything. We are definitely going to plug all these individuals' handles and everything where you can find all their projects, all their new stuff coming up, so that you can keep up with them, because they, like you've heard, have a lot of crazy things coming for the general public. And you can purchase these t-shirts on our website. Man. Powerful Mind t-shirts on the website.
Catch the drip.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay, with the nose ring.
I didn't know the
The
camera.
blade. No, it's twinkling. It's twinkling.
Come on, man. So wait.
You can't not laugh when you
I can't.
Yeah, shout out Powerful Mind and hold up, Civil Regime. My center on, plug him in too.
And he spells upside down. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. Okay, take it easy.
Peace.